What's up, everybody? Tyler Redmond, host of Hunter Ridge Outdoors. Hope you guys are doing well today. And you can see where I'm sitting at in my bedroom. And I know this scene looks familiar from the last podcast I did. So, that means we're on the second episode of this podcast. We're getting this going. Today's guest is Jeremy Atkins. And Jeremy is the founder of Big and J products. And if some of y'all don't know what that is a type of feed mixed with corn and all kinds of good stuff. They got all different kinds of Big and J products. I encourage you guys to check it out. I love the products. I've tried it and it works. And I'll tell you guys more stories about that in a little while of how good that stuff is. But I got my man Jeremy on the phone. Jeremy, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, man.
Good.
Hey, yeah. So I guess for those people that don't know you out there, tell us how'd you get started and or what made you decide to start Big and J.
Well, first of all, so everybody knows that I am no longer an owner of Big and J. Back in 2022, I did sell my shares of the company, and it was just a positive thing for me and my family, and it was a great opportunity, and the price was right. But with that being said, I just it was time to take advantage of what God gave me. So
that's right.
With that being said, how did I start Big and J? Originally, I was just making my own deer tractors and deer supplements for myself to use. It was really never a goal to sell it. It just kind of evolved into a business, and ultimately I credit that to the product worked really well. And I had great people around me and a great team, and it really just took off. With that being said, it was a lot of work, a lot of trial, a lot of error, a lot of travel, a lot of sleepless nights, but ultimately the product sold itself. All we had to do was get it in front of people and let them see for themselves. So that's kind of the quick backstory of the start of Big and J anyway.
That's good, man. Yeah, it's really good. Like I said, you say you started it and had no idea it would be this popular in the whole world, actually, or the whole United States.
Yeah, when I was first making it, I was just making it in my garage just for my own usage, for my own deer, And,
oh, yeah.
It was just kind of, I met the right people, and enough people said, you ought to try and sell this, and had some people involved with the team, and we built a team, and a lot of credit to people like Aaron Keller and Zach Clark, and just it was a lot of legwork. To make it in this industry is a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of travel. You really got to go hard and be at the events and be at the distributor shows and all the meetings and all of the trade shows with the public, and really it's a full-time attack mode, and
oh, yeah.
it took a lot of partners to get it to where Big and J is, and I miss it. I miss Big and J, but I was telling Tyler earlier, I was telling you, man, I didn't want to look up and pass up an opportunity that could set up my wife and kids for the rest of my life. And
right.
And do I miss Big and J? Absolutely. I miss all my friends, and I still talk to everybody in the industry, but definitely life has slowed down a lot. I get to see my kids more and get to do a lot more things around home and activities around home, and it's been great. So that's
good. I bet you use the products a lot.
Oh yeah, of course. It's my baby, But yeah, I absolutely use the product, especially like right now this year here in Nebraska. Anyway, it's super cold. We've gotten a lot of snow. We're a couple days ago it was 22 below. I think today's 0 right now. This Saturday, it's supposed to get down to 22 below again.
Goodness.
With wind chill's about 40 below. So,
woo.
Yeah. So, yeah, to say the least, they really, I wouldn't say they have to have it, but it definitely helps them out, and they don't get ran down half as hard if you give them what they need, especially this time of year. So.
Oh, yeah, man, that sounds pretty cold.
Yeah, it's cold. It's really cold here right now. You go outside, your eyelashes are freezing shut.
Oh Lord.
For sure.
Oh man. How did and I know when people start a business, they look for or they hope that TV shows or partners you allow to become their sponsor stuff. How did Michael Whitell and the Bone Collector crew, how did they find you and get in contact with you, and how did you become a sponsor?
Well, honestly, the way it works is, as a manufacturer, as a business, you're looking for TV shows that you think are going to push your message.
Oh yeah.
And explain your product the best. And so you kind of, you try and pick guys that, first of all, they got to believe. My number one thing was, if they didn't believe in Big and J and truly want to use it, I didn't want to sponsor them.
Right.
Okay. And we had a lot of great partners. I mean, we had the guys from Bone Collector and for many years worked with the guys from Heartland Bow Hunter and Dean Partridge from Canadian Whitetail Outfitters and Kenneth Lancaster from The Give and Right and Texas Trophy Hunters. And I mean, I can go on and on. I've worked with, oh my gosh, we worked with a lot of people over the years. And, but like the Bone Collector relationship with, you ask about those guys. Well, first, Nick and I, so Bone Collector was in its infant stages. I mean, Bone Collector had just started, like it was a year-old brand. And I met Nick, honestly, here in Grand Island, and we ended up just going, hey, dude, let's go turkey hunting. And so Nick and I went turkey hunting, and we became friends that way. And then Bone Collector was growing, and then Big and J was an infant company. We were in the very beginning of our career. And next thing you know, we're seeing each other at ATA and SHOT Show and stuff like that. And we're like, hey, man, what's up? And really, we were friends way before we worked together. Big and J is a sponsor of Bone Collector. Michael and Nick and T-Bone, they endorse Big and J and use Big and J on their show, of course, and stuff like that. But more importantly for me is, I think it's way cooler to say I'm friends with Michael, Nick, and T-Bone.
Oh, yeah.
Then I work with them.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's, and that's the thing about those guys, they've been around a long time. I think it's safe to say that the Bone Collector brand is one of the strongest brands in the hunting industry.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's safe to say that those guys have a big following. And the reason they have a big following is those cats are just like you see on TV. I mean, I've shared multiple hunting camps with Michael and T-Bone and, of course, Nick. I mean, T-Bone and I went down to South Texas, and we had a blast down there, and we killed some stuff and broke bread and had great conversations and just a lot of fun. And when we see each other, it's laughs and jokes. Nick, obviously, we've killed a bunch of turkeys together. Michael and I, we went down to Mexico. We went down there with Ira Dean and Michael's boy Mason, and shot some deer and javelina and whatnot. Just had a good time down there. But the way the relationship started was, as far as business wise, is Michael one year needed a place to come turkey hunting in Nebraska. I said, heck, man. I said, come on up, let's go. And he's like, sure? And I'm like, yeah. And at that time, he was working with other manufacturing products and stuff like that. We weren't working together in any way, shape, or form, and it was just purely go hunting. Here's the ground, have fun.
That's awesome.
And he came up, and we shot the heck out of turkeys and had a good time, and came up the next year, and he brought Mr. Edwin, his dad, and brought Meyer and McCoy and Mason, brought all of his boys, and all of them killed a bunch of turkeys, and we had a great time again, and just kind of timing, Lord works in mysterious ways, but Bone Collector had an opening in our category, and Michael and his cousin Jackson Boo Bishop, Boo and Michael and I were sitting there chatting about working together and kind of ran numbers and figured out what it would take and said, yeah, let's go, and they've been definitely helped out Big and J and Big and J sales over the years for sure. So
that's
great
awesome.
guys, great people, so that, I would say that was kind of where it all started with Bone Collectors. Honestly, it started around hunting.
That's awesome. That is the best way, actually, when you know the people already and they begin to like a product you had just started, you know.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man. Yeah, I remember I watched that. I watched Bone Collector a lot, and Real True Road Trips and all those shows. I did, like I said, I have watched that episode where you did go down to Mexico with Michael and Mason and Ira and all those guys.
Yep.
I know that was a fun trip.
Yeah, that was a good time. You know, that was a great time. Beautiful accommodations. It was just a lot of fun. A lot of deer, a lot of wildlife to look at. It was just a lot of laughs. It was just once again one of the great memories that I have from my tenure at Big and J. You know, it was just a great experience for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man, I don't know where to start. Well, first of all, I work up here at my local feed store. Literally just well, let's see. I'll put it this way: I'm not working hardly at all right now because I'm part time. But when we got to have one more person to leave in order for me to be right in full time. But over here, my feed store, my one of my coworkers started ordering Big and J off of a Florida hardware website.
Gotcha.
And it's been successful. We've been able to sell it this past fall.
That's awesome.
And
That's great,
we started. Well, you know, when you want to sell something for the first time, you just don't start off big and boom, here's a whole lot of this. You start off small and see how it does.
Sure.
We started off with two 20-pound bags of the BB Square, and that went pretty good. And then she tried to order more of the 20 pounds, but they were out of stock. So she had to order the 40 pounds, and I was told that 2 shipments of those have already come and gone. And then we also tried a couple gallons of the BB Square liquid, and that went good as well. So that was just this fall. All that's been sold.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and I'm excited.
You know, and that's the thing. You know, the people running Big and J, it's the same people. It's the same people that when I was there. I mean, great people, great team, and you know, it's neat to see Big and J thriving like it is, you know. And,
oh, yeah.
And it's because of the people that were there 10 years ago, and they're the same people that are there now, you know. I just love seeing everything that Big and J's doing, and the products that they're coming out with are phenomenal. It's really cool.
That is good. That is good. It is the same people, actually. I did not know that.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, same team.
That's awesome. I tell you what, though, my dad, his favorite one, I'm sure a lot of people could relate to this one. My dad's favorite one is the To Die For.
Yeah.
Boy, Dad says when you open that bag and you smell it, you just want to dunk your head in there.
Yeah. The To Die For is a mixture of the original BB Squared with ground up sweet corn. True sweet corn. It's not field corn. I mean, it's excuse me. Sweet corn is it's a higher fat content. You know, it's sweeter to their taste buds. It's just kind of, you know, I kind of almost say it's like it's your main course, and then the sweet corn's kind of like their dessert. Yeah, they're still getting that nutritional value of the BB Square, but that sweet corn added into it really, really drives them to it. So. Oh yeah. Pretty deadly in front of your trail camera for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's definitely worked for me. You know, sometimes we usually before we put it in our feeder, we would I forgot how do we do it. Well, I think we added a like I said, if we had a big feeder and it hold about 4 50-pound bags of corn, we would I think, to be an example, I think we'd pour one bag in there and then put a little bit in there, pour another bag of corn on it, and that way when it come out, it'd just be mixed up. But man, those deer, they would kill it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I tell that to guys all the time. You know, if you're trying just to add a little something to your corn, it doesn't take a lot. You know, you mix in you know, I tell guys all the time, I'll take a 40-pound bag of BB Squared and I'll put it in my corn feeder, and I'll put a little bit of BB Squared at the base of my feeder, and then I will put in a bag of corn, top dress it with BB Squared or To Die For or any of the Big J products for that matter, and then more corn, another layer, so on and so forth, and it kind of just it filters through, it intermixes, the aroma's there, nutritional values there. I mean, you're upping the nutritional content of your corn when you're adding in something that's very high in digestible energy and protein, and that's what Big and J focuses on, and that's what those guys have never wavered from, and that is if the product doesn't truly have nutritional value, that's what, to me, and not just me, the team at Big and J. The number one rule of thumb is if it doesn't have a purpose, if it doesn't have a nutritional value, then it's not going to attract the deer as good as we want it to.
Oh yeah,
we want, and if it's giving them health benefits, then the deer are going to come and they're going to hit it harder. They're going to come to it more. They're going to make it it's much more desired,
Yeah.
So, kind of a rule of thumb. If it's good for them, then it's going to be a good product.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I tell you, man, this past deer season, like I said, I'm in North Carolina, and this past deer season, we had a big, I guess not a drop off, but like a big lull in the acorns. Like we had no acorns fall at all this past year. So I think one reason we had an unbelievable deer season is because you could put not only Big and J, but if you just put corn out, them deer were going to come to it because with no acorns on the ground, that's where they were going to go straight to.
100%.
Because
100%.
You wouldn't believe the monsters that were killed in this state this past year. I had a buddy of mine, his name is Rex. He killed 2 giants he'd been after, and he tagged out before the rut even started. I mean, giants, literally in the county that I live next to, that it was unbelievable. And awesome. I was able to, the good Lord blessed me with definitely the best year of hunting, not just because I almost filled all my tags but one. And but I saw so many deer action. It was unbelievable. So many vocalizations from the different deer I saw. So many different actions. I had one doe come out later on after a couple fawns had been out there, and those were not her fawns. You know what she did? She pushed them out of there, and you could hear her grunting while chasing them off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was unreal. And the rut too, man. I never seen so much rut action in my life. I thought I was in Kansas.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Grunting, snort wheezing, rubbing, scraping. I could not believe what I was seeing.
That's awesome. Makes it fun.
Oh yeah, and then I was able to take the biggest buck of my life. I'd say he's probably around 120 if you include the points that he lost while fighting. He kind of got his butt kicked during the rut. But yeah, it was unbelievable. And yeah, folks, speaking of unbelievable season, our man Jeremy here got to go on a dream moose hunt. Tell us all about that, buddy.
Yeah. So I wanted to hunt moose. I've hunted a lot of North American game, but one of the top on my bucket list was to go hunt moose. And I went up to New Brunswick, up to the northern Atlantic coast, and I hunted moose up there with my good friends JLR Trophy Black Bear and moose hunting with Lee Como. And I went up there and shot a bear and filmed a few bear hunts and been up there multiple times. And I always told Lee, I'm like, someday I'm going moose hunting with you. And the stars aligned this year, and I was able to go up and the unique thing in New Brunswick is it's a 5-day season. That's it.
Oh, wow.
5-day season, so you really hope for the right weather, and you got to get after it. And we really hit the weather good. Everything, the conditions were great. It was cold in the mornings, and it was beautiful. And my dad was able to go with me. That country up there is just amazing and great people, and we called in quite a few moose, and the moose I ended up killing, we called him in the 7 steps, and
oh my God,
and shot him at 7 yards, and dropped him right there in his tracks, it was just an amazing experience. I've always wanted to go after moose, and finally got to do it. And now I'm hooked. hopefully going again in 2027 if everything works out right. So
that's awesome, man. That'd be something I like to do. I've never been hunting any other game outside. Well, period. I've never been hunting outside of my home state. The only thing I've killed as far as a big game is deer and my first turkey last year, and that's about it. But it would be nice to kill something that big. But like I said, I think you have to get pretty lucky to just to draw a tag for something like that.
They have in New Brunswick. They do have some outfitter tags, and you can buy that's what I ended up doing, and you can buy the outfitter tags. But yeah, they're very limited. They're hard to get your hands on, and get your name on that tag is pretty special. So, but yeah, I mean, that's what I'll just tell you. This is what I tell everybody: is you only got one life, live it up.
Right.
I mean, go for it. Go do it. Money. Yeah, do some of those big game hunts, the elk, the moose, the what have you. That stuff's expensive, but you know what? You can't take it with you. The only thing bad about going on some of those big game hunts, like if I've killed a lot of deer. I've killed deer all over the North American continent, from northern Saskatchewan to Mexico.
Wow.
But with that being said, my obsession realistically is probably elk and now moose. Like it. And that's probably the worst part about it is now I'm absolutely hooked. Like if I could moose hunt every year for the rest of my life, I absolutely would.
Oh man, that's good. And of course, when you've done something for so long, like I grew up on deer hunting, and that's deer hunting will always be probably my number one favorite thing to hunt. But that doesn't mean that turkey hunting or something else will be just as good or even better occasionally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been deer hunting all my life, and like I said, and I've told my dad and people before, I said I would like to hunt any kind of game, any kind of style, maybe spot and stalk or in tree stand or however, or hunting anything. It'd just be cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm that type of person where if it's in season, I'll go hunt it.
Oh yeah.
I've been very fortunate or blessed with all my relationships in Texas. That I mean, even to go down to South Texas, or for that matter, the hill country of Texas, and hunt exotics. I mean, you want to talk about a fun hunt to do during not your normal hunting seasons. It's pretty freaking neat when you can go down in June, July, August and go hunt four-legged animals with antlers, And
oh, yeah.
So, I mean, there's been many a time where, I was going to go on an axis deer hunt. I've never went on an axis deer hunt. So I'm watching YouTube videos on axis deer and, figuring out what's a big axis, and stuff like that. Because I have no shame in it. I'll tell people all the time, to each his own, shoot what you want. I'm never going to judge somebody what they shoot, but I like to go after a trophy.
Right, absolutely.
Do I hunt the meat? Yep, dang right. I mean, we pretty much all we eat is wild game, especially right now with moose and elk in the freezer. We've got nothing but moose burger and stuff like that. But with that being said, one thing, I'm going to make a little stance here. I guess I can now. I got no shame in it. But
yeah,
I'm a trophy hunter.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of people are like, oh, trophy hunters, and they throw stones at it. No, don't take it wrong.
Right.
I like to go and hunt the biggest, most mature, oldest, wisest animal in the woods. You take out the biggest, oldest deer. The next deer that's coming up, now he has run of the mill. With that being said, I like the chess match. I like the challenge of going after big deer, and I like the trophy. I like to look at it on the wall. I look at it, and I remember that hunt for the rest of my life. And I still eat the meat. But yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, I'll shoot anything that moves. Well, that's your call. But don't judge me if I want to pass that deer up and hunt for a big one, And so,
oh yeah,
I don't know how I got on this rant, but hunting is my true passion. I mean, whether I'm going out chasing rabbits in the snow or if I'm hunting ducks and geese on a creek, it don't matter. It's I love hunting. That's probably the whole reason that I had the success in the beginning of Big and J's, because I was very passionate about it and I was having fun with it. Number one, obviously, me personally, now the great team is why Big and J had its success. But everybody involved in Big and J, almost all the boots on the ground, those guys, they're hunters.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And that's I think that's really important. So I don't know where I got there, but we got there.
That's awesome, man. You know, like I said, especially, and you know, especially when the good Lord places an animal right there, man. I tell you, it's no better feeling when you know the shooter when the good Lord places it right there in front of you.
Yeah, that's right.
That's, hey, like I said, and you know, I know you can agree with me on this. It feels like an extra bonus sometimes to take a trophy. Sometimes it does, you know.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? For me, a trophy. I mean, it doesn't have to be inches. It's just, for me, it's maturity.
Right.
Okay. Like if I see a mature deer, heck, two Nebraska rifle seasons ago, I have a piece of ground that I'm fortunate enough that I get to hunt on a good friend's place, and it has zero hunting pressure, and it is a really big place, and it has a lot of unpressured deer and a lot of big bucks. And my first hour and a half into the hunt, I shot a 3x3. I shot a 6. But he was a great, big, nasty, huge body, biggest head, biggest neck deer I've ever killed, bigger than anything I've killed in Saskatchewan.
Awesome.
And I shot a 3x3 and had no regrets. I saw him, I was like, "Ooh, wow." It was done. If he's mature, I love him. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I get to go and I get to hunt with my good buddy Cody Butler from down in Kansas. And Cody's got a lot of farms that he and his father have. And I've hunted down in Kansas with Cody for a decade plus. And honestly, I had the run of his farms. I mean, and big deer. I mean, legitimate big deer, like hunting 160 to 200 inch deer.
Good grief.
And with that being said, man, I go down there and I shot a big 7.1 year, and 1 year I shot a 9-year-old deer we called Teddy, and he won't score 120 inches.
Would y'all name him?
Teddy.
Teddy.
You know, and with that being said, like, you know, they're mature.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I like that.
So.
Oh yeah, that is unbelievable, man. Yeah, that's man. Yeah, it'd be good. It would be cool if we can catch up and do a hunt of anything with us, man. That would be cool.
Yeah, let's definitely do a hunt sometime. I'm always going.
There you go. We'll have to.
Since Big J, everybody's like, "What are you going to do with yourself now? You know, what are you going to do to keep yourself busy?" I got plenty of irons in the fire, but I got some stuff that I'm doing on the side, and then I do some turkey guiding, and I do some elk guiding and stuff like that, and just absolutely love it, you know. And
I think my next goal, like you said, would be to go elk hunting. That'd be the next animal I'd want to go shoot.
Yep, elk's awesome. A lot of fun. There's nothing like a bull elk ripping and bugling.
Man, boy, it gets to, your heart gets to pounding when you hear them bugle.
Oh yeah. I've called in many a bull elk.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, hey, you never know.
Favorite thing to do. That's what I tell everybody all the time. If you never went elk hunting, but you've went turkey hunting, if when a turkey gobbles back in the woods, if you snap your finger up and you point over there and you turn and you look at your buddy and you go, "You hear right there." If you do that when a turkey gobbles, the more than likely the first time you hear an elk bugle, you're going to melt in your shorts. So it's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I think, like I said, if we could do that, the only thing I have to do would, like, I guess, you know, obviously, try to draw a tag and pay for everything and stuff, but to get there.
Yep. Put that $20 in a jar. Put a $20 bill in the jar every chance you get. That's what I tell everybody all the time.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, my kids are doing it right now. You know, I tell them, I'm like, just every time you got an extra dollar bill sitting around, an extra $20 bill, put it in the jar and forget about it. Don't ever go back. Don't ever go, "Man, I need to buy that pair of tennis shoes. I'm going to go rob my jar." Nope, don't rob your jar.
Yep.
And you'll look up, might be 2 years from now, might be 5 years from now. But also, you're going to look up and you're going to have enough that you can go get that done.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody can afford it. You just got to make yourself afford it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It'd be much easier. I think it's much easier to draw a turkey or a deer tag where you're at, probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure. for sure. Heck, you don't even have to draw a turkey or deer tag here. It's over the counter. It's just the elk tags. They're very hard to draw.
Oh yeah, I think you just have to pay for a non-resident license. That's basically it. I think, and your and tags and stuff.
Yeah, for deer and for turkey.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes. Now to get an elk tag, first of all you have to be a resident in order to hunt elk in Nebraska, and then you got to be daggum lucky to draw that tag. I mean, it's very slim odds, but if you draw it, my good buddy Justin Simmons from Spring Meadows Outfitters out here, he has a lot of ground in the elk woods of western Nebraska, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize there is a big herd of elk in Nebraska. I mean, and it's not like it's a herd. It's an area that is 100 miles by 100 miles square of big piney timber that, I mean, ponderosa pines on it. If I put a blindfold on you and dropped you off there and took the blindfold off and said, "Where are you at?" you'd look around and go, "This has to be Wyoming." The northwest corner of Nebraska it's called the Pine Ridge because it's pines and it's very hilly, big canyons. I can't call it mountainous, but there's definitely some areas in there where you're changing elevation big time going up and down some of them hills and into some of them canyons, and it's loaded with elk. So
wow. Now you said I'd have to be a resident. Is that just being a resident in Nebraska or just the United States?
Nebraska, unfortunately. It's Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
They sell one tag a year, and they sell it at the National Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation banquet every year, and that actually is coming up here real soon. They're selling it this year, I believe, at a Sheep Foundation banquet. And right now, the silent auction bid right now for that hunt, for that one tag, is already at $60,000.
Woo!
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, go.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it'd be much easier to start with a deer or turkey where you're at.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm totally fine with that, man. You know, that'd be just as good, man. But man, yeah, it was awesome to get to chat with you, buddy. And
yeah, man.
I hope everything goes well. I hope friends and family doing good. And I've been like I said, I talked to Michael last year. He was at the Deer Classic down here in Raleigh, and he got to do my intro for my YouTube channel.
Oh, cool! So, I saw that. I actually saw that on Facebook.
Yes, that was really awesome. And he, like I said, I took my first turkey with my good buddy Jonathan Brown. He's actually a modified racer up here in Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, he goes to our church actually. And but yeah, he took me turkey hunting, and it was a Jake, but they put on a heck of a show. I mean, we called, and we were hearing nothing for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and we called, and all of a sudden, bam, they were right behind us. It was like, oh my gosh. So they circled around from where we heard them on the roost, and it was two Jakes, and they come literally 10 steps from where we were at. And then they walked, they went down to the bottom, one of them stayed there, the bigger one, or the one with the bigger beard, come on up, and went to my left, and he was getting ready to go back out in the field. So I made my decision. I was going to shoot one. I didn't want to shoot a Jake at first, but I was like, with the show they're putting on, I can't let one walk away. So Jonathan started calling, and sure enough, he started slowly but surely come back down the hill. I shot him 44 yards with a 410 shotgun.
Nice.
And I went and chased that thing down the hill after I shot him. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Good stuff, man.
He's probably a 15-pound bird, I think.
Yeah.
He was good for a Jake, actually.
Heck yeah.
And going to go after Mr. Tom this year.
Go get that long beard, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, folks, that is Jeremy Atkins on the phone right there. There'll be more interviews to come with some more hunters. And, Jeremy, I appreciate the time, buddy. It was awesome.
Hey, thanks for reaching out, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely, buddy. And, folks, This is episode 2 of the Hunter Ridge Podcast. I promise you, there'll be another one coming up soon. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.